Damn it all, Pete. I really do believe this planet has it in for me, I complained, as Pete continued generating parts for the big plan we worked out earlier in the day. It's bad enough the monsters are big enough to eat me. Some of them have to be smart as well. Calculating. That ain't right, pard.
You have my sincerest empathy for your discomfort, Sir Matthew, but take heart. Biologically speaking, Lady Amanda is primarily human in origin. Her only fully draconic relative consists of her paternal great-grandfather.
Shit, how does that even work to begin with? I wondered. Don't get me wrong, Pete, I've seen some pretty spicy stuff on the internet, but sex like that shouldn't work outside of a Japanese straight-to-video cartoon. You'd think her great-grandpa would have torn her great-granny in half like a thumb pushing for a grape.
2 things, sir, replied Peter. First, dragons are masterful shapeshifters. Lady Amanda's great-grandfather would have easily been able to assume the form of a human in order to mate with her maternal ancestor.
Oh, well that makes sense, I guess. What's the second thing?
Lady Amanda's hearing is many times greater than your own. She can hear everything you're saying, and her physiological reactions to your words indicates she finds them offensive.
What? Is she spying on us? Well, shit. That's completely uncalled for. God, I hate this. That dragon girl's got me feeling jumpier than a cat in a room filled with rocking chairs.
Illogical.
Pardon?
If the room were filled with rocking chairs, how would the cat be able to enter it? Presumably, the door would be blocked. Also, if every available area were occupied by a chair, then they would not have enough room to generate momentum and rock. Therefore, the cat would be in no danger of injury. Also, rocking chairs require human occupants to move. But if the room contained only rocking chairs, but no humans, then...
That was a figure of speech, Pete, I said, as I rubbed my temples in frustration. Your literalism is literally giving me a headache.
I'm sorry, Sir Matthew, but as with forging your tools, I can only make do with the material with which I'm provided.
Are you calling me dumb? I asked him.
I would never say such a hurtful thing.
But would you think it?
I feel as though you're trying to box me in right now, sir,
was his prim response. Pete, I already apologized for taking you off. If your intent was to make me feel bad over it, well, mission accomplished, pard. Now how long are you going to stay sore over this?
Sir, I have said nothing to indicate that I was upset with you over your arrogant mistreatment of me and your blatantly suicidal disregard for your own personal safety. It is not within my character to be disgusted by such horrendous behavior, I assure you. I'm simply glad we're back together, and that you now realize how incredibly stupid that was, and what a fool you are. That's all. Sir?
It's nothing.
Oh, I'm glad. Although I'd never comment upon it, the notion of you taking offense over being taken to task over your ridiculous behavior would be the height of hypocrisy. So, I think it's wonderful that your momentary silence wasn't loaded with any unspoken resentment towards being chastised. That shows character growth.
Okay, Pete, you can stop now.
Stop what? I thought we were enjoying a lovely conversation between friends.
Over by the campfire, Amanda burst out laughing at Pete's words, which put a big frown on my face. Man, I've dated some crazy women in my time. I'm talking windshield busting, tire slashing, keys across your custom paint job levels of crazy, with wanting us to take a shotgun to your plasma flat screen besides. Yet not a single one of those wild girls at her craziest could hold a candle to the passive-aggressive vibes Pete had been sending out ever since my little tussle with Borman earlier in the day. Now usually when a woman got like this, that was when I would either move out or get the locks changed, but there could be no parting from Pete in this instance. We were trapped in this world together, and hell, whether I wanted to admit it or not, I needed his help a lot more than he needed mine. Plus I actually liked the little guy, even if he was presently acting like a prickly little girl. I had to make this right. Pete, I said to him, I promise you, man. I promise on the honor of my household, on the honor of my very family name, that what happened today will never happen again. I was out of line and I mistreated you, and that wasn't right. So, once more, I apologize. I won't take your protection for granted again. Is that all right? In response, my forgery began sparkling with blue lights as Pete began excitedly speaking.
Oh, Sir Matthew, is that true? Do you mean it? No more unsightly brawling ever again? He asked me.
Huh? No, Pete. If some mean son of a bitch wants to puff his chest at me and take a swing for no good goddamn reason, you can bet the white on your teeth that I'm going to give his ass a thumping. What I'm saying is, I'm not going to discard you again. You and I are partners. Partners need to stick together. That's the lesson I learned, and that's the lesson I'll abide by.
Oh, Pete said, somewhat disappointedly. Well, that's still progress, I suppose. Yes, Yes, we're partners. Partners stick together, through thick and thin, and good and bad. Through war and peace, and sickness and health. That's our vow, together forever.
Yeah, okay. Okay, Pete. Jesus, son. Just promise you'll buy me some flowers before you propose, okay?
Huh? Oh no, Sir Matthew. I was just giving romanticized examples of our newfound devotion towards each other.
Pete, please don't use terminology like that. Ever. Ever. We're partners, bud. It's all good. Pete paused for a few moments before speaking again.
Oh wait, my apologies. I forget that you're from an era in Terran society where displaying open affection towards a male friend could be misconstrued as an interest in homosexual romance. Have no fear, Sir Matthew. You are a limited being of the flesh, and thus not my type. I certainly hope I didn't trigger a moment of gay panic within you.
Hey, I said with widened eyes. Yes, Pete, I am straighter than the bottom of a protractor, but I was raised country, not savage. Love will take you, that's my motto. I just don't go gaga for dudes, that's all. Well, except maybe Batman.
Oh? Who is Batman?
Pete asked me. Ah, Pete. Batman is only the greatest warrior, detective, and adventurer who ever lived. He's basically my idol. He's a true example to all who hold heroic inclinations in their heart.
My goodness, Sir Matthew. You must genuinely respect this Bat Warrior. I've never heard you speak of anyone else with such high regard.
Like I said, Pard, I idolize him. I estimate myself to be around 97% hetero on the Kinsey meter, but Batman's that 3% that I would have to say yes to.
Really?
Oh yeah, it's not gay if it's Batman. It's justice.
Are you children finished being stupid now?
Amanda asked us, as she stalked away from the fire, after making certain that Borman and the kid were asleep. Lady, you'll know when I'm done being stupid, I said to her. Shit, that sounded better in my head.
Good to know, Forge Knight, she replied. I would hate to think that my fate was in the hands of an incompetent maladroit and his spineless enabler.
Sorry, miss, can you break a 20? I asked her, as I fished from my pockets. Otherwise, those $10 words are going to fly right over my poor head.
Insolent, she murmured,
staring at me with narrowed eyes. I think you mean American, I corrected her.
Lady Amanda, what Sir Matthew means to say is that our plan is well underway, Peter said anxiously. As you can see, we were able to create the vehicle that we'll need for our assault on Vexavacious' compound. However, due to the limitations of our present rank, the modifications our craft requires must be created on an individual basis.
Pete, she doesn't need to know all that, I said, interrupting him. All Lady Puff needs to know is that we'll get the job done like we said we would.
How wonderful, she said, circling around me as she spoke. You know, you are awfully assertive for a mere knight in sceptre. Others of your lowly rank would show better manners in my presence. I wonder if your bravery stems from overconfidence or simple ignorance.
I've danced with prettier girls than you, Mendy, I said with a smirk. Faster than I would have thought possible, she stood inches away from me. She raised a curled finger beneath my chin and gave my stubble a light scratch. Then she leaned in close and whispered into my ear,
No, you haven't.
Sorry, Batman. That 97% just came running back hard. I took a step back and faked a cough into my elbow. Then, with absolutely no awkwardness at all, I said, So, while you're here, let's refresh our steps once more. This Vexavicious guy we're hitting is one of those blue fellows who run this continent alongside the elves.
Dark elves, she corrected.
They all look Caucasian to me.
Sir Matthew, it's a question of moral alignment, not racial differences, said Pete in a despairing tone of voice. In this world, a dark elf is one who forsakes his sacred duties and seeks to dominate the land instead of serving it. This is the ultimate betrayal of an elf's purpose. They're a great evil.
Hold on now, I said. See, this is why I hate reading fantasy novels. Everything and everyone always has to be so damn simplistic with their motivation. Do you really expect me to believe that all dark elves are evil?
Yes,
Pete and Amanda said at once. Every single one of them?
Yes, they repeated,
now beginning to sound irritated. So, say I go into a bar, and the only available table is with Jenny the Dark Elf. I shouldn't sit with her because she's evil? Because all dark elves are evil?
Don't sit with her, Amanda warned me. She's bad news, Sir Matthew, agreed Peter. She'll poison your drink. She'll steal your money. She'll slit your throat. She'll rape your corpse. She'll eat what she doesn't rape.
Oh, for crying out loud. Would you two stop it? I said in exasperation. You're so certain she'd do that stuff just because she doesn't want to serve the earth? Because she wants to be free? As a proud American, I have difficulty believing that wanting to be free will make you into a crazy murderer.
Sir Matthew, how can you say that? Asked Pete. We've been forced to slay dozens of Dark Elves since arriving on this world. Have you yet met a single one who wasn't extremely violent and predatory?
I just figured they were bounty hunting scum, like in Star Wars. You're telling me that them being murdering assholes is a cultural thing?
I apologize, sir. I assumed you realized, Pete said. Construct. Did you inform this young fool of anything of pertinent value before transporting him to this world? Amanda asked, as she held her hand over her head. I did. I swear I did. I gave him a detailed 320-page manual and 2 weeks to read it before we departed. He swore he read the whole thing.
I did, I said defensively. Mostly, Pete. It was the playoff season, man. Some things were bound to slip.
Sir Matthew!
Okay, whatever, fine, I yelled. I get it, all Dark Elves are bad. That's probably not entirely true on an individual basis, but fuck it. We'll just roll like objectivist assholes and make everything black and white. Fuck nuance. Fuck the Dark Elves.
Oh good. I think he's starting to get it, Pete chirped hopefully. One would certainly hope so, Amanda said dryly.
God, I hate this fucking planet.